Facebook land. Hi everyone. I know these videos are going everywhere. We had a couple technical difficulties in our office, but we're ready to go. So very excited. Today is going to be a fantastic day. I think I might keep it a little bit short, but we've got some great topics. So jump on, please invite your friends to GGinspire, Gillian Giorgio, that's my name, here to inspire. That's my goal, is to inspire you to have an incredible life. Hi, Joel. Very grateful for the opportunity. You know, we live in a world right now where you can actually get your message out to people just by being on Facebook and sharing some of your stories. So I'm very just so happy to have the opportunity to be able to do this. So thank you very much for joining. Please invite your friends. Today we're going to be talking about some pretty cool stuff. So I'm going to jump into it because I think you guys came for value and you want to hear what I've got to say today. So this is one thing that I've been thinking about. You know, are you somebody who gets frustrated? Do you are dissatisfied with where you are? Something happened. Are you dissatisfied with where you are? Are you not able to, I don't know, are you frustrated? Are you bothered? Are you at the point where you don't like your situation? The interesting thing about that is that when you have those kinds of issues that are going on in your life, maybe you're not happy with your job, or you're not making enough money, or you're feeling like you don't have enough time, you're missing certain things in your life, right? You're not able to do something, right? Something frustrates you. We all have our problems, we all have our issues. But every solution to be able to rectify that situation is within you. I don't know if you realize that. It's all within us to be able to solve a problem, to handle the issue, to be able to do whatever it is that we want to be able to do. All those answers are within us. And so when something's not right, what are you going to do about you? What are you going to do to change the situation, right? We have so much more control than we realize. One of the things that we tend to do is we tend to, you know, blame other people, or we tend to say, well, this is my circumstance, and, you know, that's not my fault. And, you know, we never control what happens to us, but we control how we deal with it. And everything is a choice. And unfortunately, sometimes we don't all make the best choices. It doesn't mean we're not good people. It's just that we don't necessarily know, because maybe we're not equipped to deal with adversity. You know, a lot of times in school, I don't remember them teaching me how to deal with adversity. They just were like, well, you know, get over it. You know, that's the way that life is. Life's tough. And so if you don't know how to deal with it properly and process it and figure out, how do I keep these types of things from happening? How do I make my situation better? Whether you're 5 years old on the playground or you're 50 years old, you still have to figure out how to be able to get your situation, you know, the way that you want it. So all we can do is learn and grow and get better as much as we can. So what I found is that a lot of times we are getting in our own way. We have obstacles, we have blocks, we have challenges, we have things that come up in our own minds that keep us from being able to reach whatever goal it is that we want, or whatever, honestly, like whatever things that make us happy that we want to be able to create in our life. If we want you know, a perfect body, or we want to eat better food, or we want more money, or we want dreams, we want to travel, we want our kids to be happier or nicer, or, you know, listen, we want stuff like that. Like, we don't necessarily know how to do it, but the answers are within us, and we have to find ways to be able to get to those answers. So I was talking to a client of mine earlier, and I was basically just telling me some of the things that had gone on in her life, and I said, those things were not necessarily your fault, but we've been conditioned a certain way to handle things, not necessarily the best way for our growth. And so, you know, we have to make sure that we grow and we get better as people. That's why, like, Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone, Eric Thomas and Gary Vee, and like all these different speakers and leaders are out there, and they do very, very well because they're helping people heal themselves. They're helping people get to the next level and be able to take things on and understand that you're not necessarily to blame, but you are to blame if you don't look out and seek to make change. And we have the ability to do those things. And sometimes we're connected with people that don't help us, you know? Sometimes we're around negative people, or naysayers, or people that don't make things easier for us. They make it harder. And sometimes those people are our family, and we feel like we have to, you know, participate in whatever conversation. Hey, I'm seeing a lot of people jump on. Hey, Dana, how are you? Scott, Ashley, Maria. when you see those types of things happen, or you have those kinds of people in your life that hold you back, sometimes you need to take an honest assessment of, you don't just cut those people out of your life necessarily, but maybe you minimize the contact that you have with them, or you change the way that you deal with them. Maybe you deal with them on a shorter period of time, or only at certain times, what have you. I've spent a lot of time in 10 years in business. I've had a lot of people that have thought I was an absolute nut because I left an incredible career. I had an amazing education from USC. I was in the medical field. I left because there's a lot of reasons why I left. I wanted to have freedom. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to go out and blaze my own trail. And people thought that I was freaking crazy. But at the end of the day, now people are like, wow, look what you've done for yourself. And, I spent a lot of time kind of defending myself over the years. Like, oh, it's such a shame that you didn't follow through with your education. A shame for who? It's not a shame for me. Maybe it's a shame for you, but your opinion has nothing to do with me. So I've gotten to the point where I've kind of put away those people that tolerate me, that have me around just because, like, maybe I'm family or whatever. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, well, whatever you think is what you think. But at the end of the day, I'm in control of what I want to be able to do. And each one of you are in control of what you want to be able to do. It's just taking that ownership and stepping up to the next level and being able to create the life that you want. So maybe you need to find you need to talk to a friend, or maybe you need a mentor. But here's the thing that's interesting about mentors. If you're going to go out and ask a mentor, be ready for their answer. Because if they give you an answer that you don't want to listen to, you're probably not going to get to work with that mentor again. They may, put a mirror up in front of your face and say, hey, this is what you're doing. I don't know if you realize it, but this is the situation. And sometimes people don't want to hear that, and a lot of times, in my business, I don't talk necessarily too much about what exactly I do, but in my business, a lot of times I put a mirror up in front of people and I share with them what their future is going to look like if they don't make some changes. And oftentimes people don't want that. Right? And it's only when they're ready to go through that whole process and be open to, I need to make change, right? And this coming to the end of the year, we're at a time where people are starting to realize, I need to make some changes. I'm in the same place that I was last November or last December, right? I, talked last night with a group, and I was telling them what happened over the last 12 months, where we were last year, and I don't want to go too much into that, but the year absolutely flew by. And I don't know if it's because I just turned 40 and I look good, by the way. Like at 40, I think I look freaking amazing, but y'all can be the judge of that. But the thing is that this is the fastest year it's ever been, it just, all of a sudden, everything changed, right? Like everything went so much faster, and every year. And now I look at my kids and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. Like, when did I have a 6-year-old? Like, I can't even fathom the fact that so many people have, so much stuff has happened, so many people around me have changed, and I've got these kids that have grown up, and like kids are like the best way to gauge like how old you are. But I wanted to just share a couple more things, and I hope that you guys are getting some value from this, and you want to ask some questions. We're going to be sharing these. Please like, please share, please comment, please invite other people to these videos, because I'm an entrepreneur, and there are so many other entrepreneurs out there, or budding entrepreneurs, or people that are thinking about going out there, and they need mentorship and they need guidance, and that's why we do these videos, to be able to give some good guidance and opportunity to be able to maybe like get out some of the questions that they have in like a comfortable setting where no one's gonna like rile them up or give them a hard time. So coming into the new year, we've got new goals, we've got new dreams. I see a question here. Hold on before I go into my next topic. Jewel, when in business for yourself, I hear a lot about how people push themselves to the point of literally being in the hospital. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. When is it truly time to step back and know that you're doing more harm to yourself than adding value to your family's business? Well, you have to be the gauge of those things, right? So I think, and here's actually part of what I'm going to be leading in to talk about, is that you have to take a step back and really know, like with objective reality, what is it that you want to be able to do? Like, and what are your limits? Like, Do you have to get 8 hours of sleep, or can you get by with 6? You know, or can you get by with 4 or 5? Like I used to say that 4 was like my teetering point. Like if it was any less than 4 hours of sleep, then I was like not clicking on all cylinders all day. But that's since changed, and I get a little bit less sleep, but not every night. Like I know I could probably go for a few nights where I get maybe 4 hours of sleep or a little bit less, but then I have to sleep for 6. So you have to know your body, and sometimes that takes a few days or even weeks or months to figure out, like, what is it that I really need in order to be able to function at my best, right? Are you working out? That's really important. Are you even getting up and walking around the block? You know, are you organizing your time, or are you all over the place and you're not able to get things done? Do you feel like you're working hard, but you're not really moving forward and you're not productive? So you have to, I was going to say that, like, number one is looking at an objective look at your year, potentially, what you wanted to get done and what did you actually get done. But you need to assess what you need in order to be able to function properly at your best. And then if you're not doing that, or if you're, you know, stressing yourself out or working yourself to exhaustion, that's not going to be productive for you either. And it's not going to get you to the point where you want to be, right? And if you're sitting in front of clients, or you're trying to do deals, you're trying to, you know, you're trying to sell or anything like that, you're not at your best. And so if you may think that you're operating at your best, but the people around you are like, what's wrong with them? You know, what's going on? So you have to assess that. And sometimes you actually have to take a step back and even take a few days off and rest yourself and get really clear on what it is, gain some clarity on what it is that you really want in order to be able to move forward and take steps to the next level. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Joanna. So stop beating yourself up. That's number one, right? You're not perfect. I was just on a webinar with a great gentleman who's doing some coaching for me. And he talked about it's progress, not perfection. Stop beating yourself up for not reaching every single goal, okay? You have to make sure that you're doing the best that you absolutely can, but you have to love yourself and forgive yourself for not getting everything perfect, right? You're gonna make mistakes. There's gonna be errors. Like, you know, that's life. You know, I don't think there's one day where everything has gone exactly the way that I wanted to in business, in my family life, my faith, anything. Like nothing has gone exactly the way I wanted. So I really, at the end of the day, I'm kind of expecting everything to be crappy sometimes, because then I'm okay when victories happen, right? So love yourself enough to know that you're worth it. You know, it's something that you may have to grow into. And like I said, maybe at 40, I've learned to love myself a little bit more. But until you love yourself and forgive yourself for things that go wrong or things that you may not be perfect at, you're going to have a hard time progressing, because you have to accept who you are, love yourself fully and everything, all your flaws, all of it, in order to be able to get better, you know? Julie, you have another question. Okay, so when you take a step back, now, wait, so when you take a step back, how do you get back in the swing of things? That's tough too. You know what? When you are able to prioritize and know what's important to you, sometimes it's baby steps to get going. You know, when I started in the business, and my mom actually worked with me, you know, my grandmother was very ill for a long time. And she was able to take a step back from the business because I was running things. But she made it a point to do a little bit every day. She never stopped moving forward. And so she was gone for, gosh, at least like 6 months, I would think. Hi, Brian. I appreciate you being on. The thing is that she was gone for like 6 months or so, but she made it a point to do something for business every single day to move forward. Even if she made one phone call, she was still staying in the hunt and she was moving forward. She didn't stagnate. She didn't say that like she was so busy that she could not think about business at all. You know what? We have 24 hours in a day, and honestly, I sleep about 4 or so. So there's tons of hours in a day. You can take and carve out some time where you go, okay, now I'm going to compartmentalize and I'm going to focus on this one thing that I need to get done. And the rest of the time, I'm going to focus on whatever issues that I have to deal with, right? So you have the ability to do it. You are in control. But you build that momentum. And so that maybe that goes from a half an hour to an hour to 2 hours to 5 hours. Who knows what it is, but it takes time, but how fast do you want it? And when you get clear on your goals, then you know that you can move forward faster, right? Jordan, you have a question. Time moves so fast. How do you stay on track with reaching your goals, especially short-term goals, so you don't find yourself having to scramble? Well, Okay, so you know what, I'm going to answer that question by kind of going into my topic, if it's okay, Jordan. So I talked about an objective look at 2017, like good, bad, or indifferent, whatever it is, like own it, right? And be okay with it. Two, the next thing that I would say is if you had no like limitations, what would you do with yourself, right? Like what would you create? Let your mind run wild, like go crazy thinking about like in the next 12 months, what I want to be able to get done is I want to make, you know, $500,000, or I want to build, you know, I want to build a building. I want to buy a car. I want to, you know, set my kids up for college. I want to, whatever it is, like I want to, you know, I want to plan 3 trips, you know, Hawaii, Tahiti, wherever. Like I want to be able to do X, Y, Z. Like, but get in a quiet place where you're focused and your mind, you're not distracted by kids or, you know, TV, your phone. Like definitely shut your phone off, or at least put it away. Like put on the charger and walk out of the room. But get in a place where you can focus and you can start to think about what you really want. Like, what does it look like, right? And like all that, like all the simple, like crazy, family-oriented, travel, nature, like hold nothing back. Like just list, if money wasn't an issue, time wasn't an issue, what in the world would you want to do with your life and in the next 12 months, right? So once you do that, you have to like make a way to envision that dream life daily, right? Or maybe twice a day. Like ideally, like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill talks about doing it twice a day. So reading your goals out loud to yourself. I have it in the mirror because I think it's helpful. But reading your goals twice a day out loud with passion, with enthusiasm, even sometimes with music, like to make sure that you're feeling that feeling of what it's going to be like to experience that dream every day, multiple times a day. And even though you do it in morning at night, you think about it all day long. And so when you're thinking about your dream life and what that would look like, it empowers you to move forward. And so what happens is if people are not clear on their goals and their mindset and what they want to be able to achieve, what happens is they get distracted, or, you know, adversity comes in and they're like, oh man, now I have to deal with this, and they forget about their goals. So the more that you spend your time thinking about and dreaming about what you want your life to look like, the more focused you are and the less that you let those distractions come in. So seek out a mentor to help you stay accountable, right? Make sure that somebody is helping you. Like share your vision with your family. Like the people, you can even share your vision with people in your family that are negative, right? That don't believe that you're going to be able to do it. You may not want to, right? But share your vision and your dream and the goals that you have. Like share that with the people that mean the most to you, that you're doing it for, right? Because most of the time the goals that you have, it's not just about like, oh, I want tons of money and I want all this success. It's like, I want to retire my mom, and I want my kids to have an incredible education, and I want to be able to retire early, and I want to, you know, these are the things that we create in our minds that would be desirous, right, for our future. And so they're usually involve someone else. So share it with those people. Like I share with my kids and my husband, like what we want to be able to do, right? What I'd like to be able to do. And that's why I work so hard. I was talking a few weeks ago about how when I'm gone sometimes, the little one gets upset, or the older one gets upset. They are constantly reminded of why we're doing it. You know, like the little one was upset and the older one was like, well, don't you know that mommy's out making our dreams come true? You know, so by the same token though, I keep in front of me what it would be like if I don't achieve it. Like that's my emotional game plan. Like if I don't achieve the things that I want to be able to do, or that we want to be able to do, that means that they're going to ask me one day, I thought you were going to make our dreams come true. How come that didn't happen? And I don't want to do that. So I run the other direction to make sure that I don't ever have to have that conversation with them, right? So that definitely helps. And it's work to win. It's okay to want to win, but it's going to take work. It's not going to be easy. Otherwise, like all these people that you see, they're super successful. It would be no big deal. It's actually work to be able to achieve that stuff. Hi, Ebony. Let's see, Stacy. So when you felt you got off track, how did you get back on? I kind of answered that. Like I just, sometimes you have to, you know, keep going back to your goals and keep getting yourself back in the mindset of achieving, right? And moving forward to be able to create the greatness that you deserve. We all deserve greatness. Unfortunately, most of us will not participate or experience it because we limit ourselves in our minds. So the more that you can do it, the better. Hi, Terry. Hi, Al Buddy. So Nancy, when adversity keeps presenting itself, to you, how do you keep facing it and pushing through it when you feel it's hard to get back up? You know, adversity, you know, I told a story a few weeks ago about the tidal wave and how the tsunami like comes at you like wave after wave after wave after wave. And that's normally how adversity happens. It's not like you have one thing that happens and then it's just done, right? Usually adversity, like it might be a lot of little things. Like they say, what is it? The death of 1,000 cuts. It's like little itty bitty cuts that finally you just bleed out because you just have, it was just so many cuts that you can't control, right? You have to stand up at a certain point and go, I am not going to let my mindset focus on adversity. I have to turn the corner and I have to focus on growth. I have to focus on the things that are going to take me out of this adversity, or at least give me something else to focus on that's in a positive direction. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy, but it's the only way to be able to create that life that you want or get even anywhere closer to it than when you are right now, right? So it's not simple, but it's something that you have to do. And we have to get better at taking control of our minds, right? And being present and doing everything that we can to almost, like I said, compartmentalize it and get to the point where you can just go, you know what? I'm just going to focus on this one thing right now, and I'm going to let all the other noise that's in my ears or in my head or clouding my judgment just take a back seat for a few minutes, even if it's 5 minutes. You know, sometimes that's going to be the struggle, is doing it for 5 minutes, and then you grow that a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. So that's most of what I have. You know, I wanted to talk about making the conceptual leap to going full-time when you work a job and you're a part-time entrepreneur, but I think we'll leave that for the next week. I do want to let you guys know, in line with New Year's, you're welcome, Nancy, in line with New Year's and not resolutions, like we talked about this, Ebony and I were talking about this earlier, like not resolutions, but having like concrete goals and having, you know, keeping your vision in front of you. I don't know how many of you have ever done a dream board before, but we're actually going to have a dream board party in our office, you know, kind of to close out the year. It's early part of December, but we're going to do it in our office in California. I know there's a lot of people all over the country that have jumped on here, but we're in West Hills. That's our office, West Hills, California. And so we're going to do it December 9th, 9:30 in the morning, and we're going to have a huge dream board party. I think we're probably going to go live then too. So if you want to, you know, go live with me. Be great, but we're going to create that, because I know a lot of people are really, you know, need to take the time at the end of the year to focus on where they want to go and you know, their vision. And you know, you can pick like magazines, bring poster boards, bring glue sticks, like have the ability to keep your vision in front of you. Like as you go through and you see magazines, you see certain things that you want for your family life, or what kind of home that you want, or my goodness, like, you know, Ebony likes shoes, right? Like she wants certain pairs of shoes that she wants to be able to have this year, or cars or watches, or, you know, I like to have pictures of travel, of like destinations and sayings, you know, like Eric Thomas calls them the isms, right? Like have your isms, or have your strong wording, or the things that empower you, you know? Get those things on your dream board, get them so that you see them every day, put them up there so that you can see them, and that can be part of what inspires you, right? So sometimes you need to put that stuff everywhere. Like, even though, yes, you're reading your goals in the morning and at night, but you need to keep things that inspire you around you all the time, so you're constantly reminding yourself of where you're going, you know? So I think that's about it for today. I don't know if anybody else has any other questions. Maybe Al Buddy has a question. But, you know, we're so excited about the opportunity to, you know, are in partnership with Grant Cardone, and, you know, being able to get ourselves out there and get our message out there to inspire other people for greatness, you know, to find their own greatness in their own lives. That's a gift to be able to bring to people. And, you know, I'm thrilled at the opportunity to be able to share my message and to have a platform to be able to get out there. It's really a big deal. So, and I don't take it lightly. And I would really appreciate, you know, all of you that are jumping on. I don't know, some of you guys stayed on, some of you didn't, and that's okay. But, you know, this is an opportunity to be able to share this message with other people. Share the message of entrepreneurship. Share the message of, you know, reaching your dreams and reaching your goals and pushing through adversity to be able to get to the next level. Hi, Neil. Push yourself to the next level and have an incredible 2018. Do something different than you did last year. You just looked at the last 12 months and you thought, gosh, like how fast did it go by? The next year will go by fast too. So do something different before the end of the year. So Dreamborn Party, December 9th, 9:30 a.m. our office. Message, please like, comment, share this. You can also follow me on GGinspire on Facebook, and we are, hit me on LinkedIn, Gillian Giorgio, and what else? Instagram at GGinspire, okay? So be inspired for a great life, guys. Thank you.